Some of you commented on the last video saying that you also signed up for Mel Robbins's 35-day mindset reset. So far, I've managed to keep up with the daily videos. I wish they were a little more concise, but I do like the content. We'll see if I keep up the entire 35 days. The videos will all remain available online, so if any of you are hearing about the program for the first time and want to check it out, you can start at any time. I've got more to share about my trip to visit my mom, including passive acquisitions. For those of you who aren't familiar with passive acquisition, that's when you acquire things through passive means, like not discarding junk mail or used food containers. So even though I've done a great job limiting my shopping, I still have issues with passive acquisition. For example, every time I fly to Taiwan, the airline provides an amenity kit with things like a toothbrush, toothpaste, hairbrush or comb, lip balm, lotion. I'm a sucker for travel size, mini size, anything because they're cute and convenient. I haven't managed to just use what I need during the flight and then leave it all behind when I get off the plane. I take it all with me and I end up with this. This doodad is a combo hairbrush, mirror, and lint remover. I've never used it, but I kept it because I found it weirdly interesting. Earplugs. I do use these because I'm very sensitive to noise. I actually wear earplugs when I watch a movie in a theater because it's too loud for me. But I only have two ears. Plus, I save the pouches that contain the amenities. This one I like because it's hard side. Is that the right term I would use? It's not soft, so it's good for holding things that I don't want to get crushed. This one, I'm a sucker for natural cotton, and I like the cute graphics. And I've repurposed it to hold cutlery for when I take food out with me. This one reminds me of ticking fabric, and I just love ticking fabric. This one turned out to be great for packing my external hard drive in one side and its cable in the other. Okay, here's a perfectionist confession. The metal doodads on the end of the elastic band, I don't want them to scratch my hard drive because I want to keep my hard drive pristine. So I went to my fabric stash and sewed a little sleeve to put my hard drive in before tucking it in the case. I know making the sleeve took time and energy that would be better spent doing other things, but I'm being honest about what goes on in my head. I don't want to keep acquiring these miscellaneous things, so on my last trip, I packed my own toothbrush and toothpaste in my purse so that I wouldn't need to open an amenity kit. Sometimes there are things in there I don't need or use, but just using the toothbrush and then throwing out the rest feels incredibly wasteful to me. So my plan was to turn down the kit altogether. But once I saw the kit, the case was adorable and I was so curious to know what was packed inside. Plan B. I would take the kit on my outbound flight. That way I could see what was inside. But on my return flight, which was on the same airline, I would not take the kit because I certainly don't need a duplicate. This is the kit I got on my outbound flight. It's adorable, right? Even has a matching eye shade. I actually have a use for these. The hypnotherapist's new office is really bright and I prefer a darker setting for the hypno part. She provides a silk eye pillow for clients to use on top of a tissue to keep it clean. The last time I was there, I cried so damn hard that I destroyed her eye pillow. It was soaked with tears and I felt really, really bad. So this will be my personal eye shade for my personal destruction. Anyway, my plan on this trip was to limit myself to just the one kit. But when I boarded my return flight, the kits they handed out were different. Plan C? All the kits are sealed in plastic bags because just about everything in this day and age has to be individually wrapped in evil plastic. I saw that these kits were made by Furla, a brand I love, but there was no way for me to see what was inside without taking it out of the plastic. And once it's out of the plastic, it won't be given to another passenger and will just be thrown out. So I stared at this kit for a while. And I weighed my fear of missing out against the consequence of taking yet another kit home. The fact that the pouch was made out of vinyl, basically plastic, was what tipped the scale for me. I returned it to the flight attendant and said I didn't need it. I'm glad I didn't take it. I just wish all these little things didn't require such deliberation because it's exhausting. And I'd rather spend my energy on other things. But hopefully over time, things will get easier. Moving on. Last year, my mom met my brother and niece in Japan. Even though my mom knows I'm trying to get rid of stuff and not acquire a lot more, she sent me a gift from Japan. I suppose I'm officially a cat lady since my own mother got me this sweatshirt. When I arrived in Taiwan this year, my mom said, I saved something for you. She saved the bag from when she bought the sweatshirt for me. My mom doesn't have hoarding tendencies, but she just thought it was really cute, which it is. I took it even though I don't have a use for it at the moment, but it is put away with my stash of bags, like with like. I acquired more bags from my trip. Nice paper bags are ubiquitous in Taiwan. These were the doggy bags from the hotel restaurant. They're made from heavyweight paper, matte finish. I love matte finish. When I go out and know that I'm going to be getting something, I bring reusable bags with me. But we were on vacation and I wasn't thinking about leftovers. Couldn't get myself to toss them out or even recycle them, but I will reuse them when I give things to people. Some of my friends like the bagels I make, so they can be used for gifting those. In the meantime, stored with my stash of bags. Taiwan also has awesome packaging. This box is from a pastry shop. I love the size of it. I love the artwork on it. This came home with me because it was holding pastries I brought back, but I polished off the pastries. Right now, donating things like this to the kids' art studio is still a convenient option that doesn't require a special trip for me. But if I didn't have that option, it would be challenging to put this in the recycling bin, I must admit. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about passive acquisitions from my trip. Next time I'll talk about my active acquisitions. Yeah, I had a few of those too. You know what? I decided that this is going to go to the kids' art studio. I don't have a use for it, and it makes me happy to think about a kid making something fun out of this.